Mary's going to be an extraordinary lieutenant governor. Let's face it, I'm a guy coming in a little bit from the outside, elected 4 times in my hometown. As these ladies know, Sharon and Melody spent a fair amount of my time doing some teaching as a volunteer in Bridgeport, now up at Central Connecticut. You know, really treasure what our teachers do and be a champion of education. Ready to go up there in Hartford to shake things up. But I got Mary here who says, hey, I've been up there in Hartford. I know how to work this legislature. I know how to make things work. And it's going to be a good complement, a good team. And Andy, you know, I look forward to working with you. I mean, we've got enormous problems on the plate right now. And I don't need people sitting on the sidelines throwing spitballs. I need folks ready to roll up their sleeves, Republicans and Democrats. Andy, we would not have kicked this can down the road. We wouldn't have played these games if you had a governor you could work with for this last cycle, and you will. And Ed's been a great friend for a long time. We were up here right after the flooding. We keep coming back to remind me how important Stonington and our part of the state is to the rest of the state. And Mary and I love doing these, you know, town hall meetings. We've been going around the state. It's part of a series. I like it because there's a real chance to engage on the issues. It's not just 1 minute, how do you plan to balance the budget? Oh, 15 seconds left. But we like the give and take, and I hope we have this a chance to do it and answer your questions and follow up if you don't like the answer, you want some more clarification. You know, lest you be mistaken, we've also had a number of debates like that, as well as a format. I think it's day after tomorrow. Mary's going to have her first debate with Nancy Wyman. I'll be having my 3rd debate with the gubernatorial candidates up in Windham. I think it's on Thursday morning. Another good way to get out there in front of people. Also add that we're doing a lot of forums and labor forums, business forums, where, and again, it's the chance for the candidates to stand up. Maybe we each have half an hour. We make our case, good back and forth. There are a lot of different ways that you have an opportunity to say who you are, what you're about, how you turn the state around, and engage people. And that's why we're so happy that on a hot day in late July, when you guys had plenty of other options, you know, you're here and paying attention, because it makes an extraordinary difference. And I'll just kick off with, you know, one thought. As I travel around the state, and I hear this in all 4 quarters and 169 towns, I hear a little bit, you know, Hartford doesn't pay quite as much attention to us as it does to some other parts of the state. And I hear that in beautiful southeast Connecticut as well. And I can tell you that you know, with Andy and my sister Kim and others, believe me, I pay attention. But I tell you something else. I pay attention because I believe this part of the state is going to be an extraordinary economic engine and is a big piece of our future. And I pay attention because you are key to Connecticut's future, and I'm here representing all of Connecticut. As I've traveled around, as I've gone to you know, Electric Vote, I see what Joe Courtney has done. Extraordinary things, by the way. I think a great congressman. And the idea that we're going to be able to expand our research and development effort, that we're going to be able to get that second sub going. EB is going to be an expanding piece of this section of the state and a big piece of Connecticut's future. I've got to make sure, Mary and I, that we have a college system and a community college system. We keep making sure the engineers and researchers that we need to make sure that EB grows and prospers right here. We make sure we have the education pipeline that makes that they don't go anywhere else. This is where they want to be. You know, I'm proud of the fact that Pfizer has recommitted. I know a little moving and shaking, but they're here. And I say that from Pfizer right down Shoreline East to Yale, New Haven, this is the knowledge corridor. Life sciences, biotech. This is going to be a big piece of Connecticut's future. And I see our investments in that as good, high-paying jobs right here. I do know that this section of the state has more PhDs per square mile than just about anywhere else. You know, this research triangle from Yale, New Haven, right here to Groton, New London, up to Yukon, a big piece of our strategic future going forward. I've had a good time with these folks visiting a number of the small and mid-sized businesses here in the state. Most recently, Davis Standard, where we did one of our ads. And to those who say that our manufacturing days are behind us, we can't compete with India, we can't compete with Georgia, we're just going to be a service economy, I say they're dead wrong. Connecticut has some of the best educated, most productive workers in the world. And you visit a place like Davis Standard that does very high-end extrusion, precision manufacturing, and Andy and I were there. They export not just around the country, they export to China, and they export to the rest of the world. And it's focusing on our small and mid-sized businesses right here in the state of Connecticut. That's how we're going to start growing jobs again. We as a state have been spending hundreds of millions of dollars a year, trying to recruit big banks and big businesses across the border, and we're forgetting a little bit about our own small businesses right here in this part of the state and elsewhere, and that's going to change. And finally, we will remember the importance of tourism. And I think too often people sort of think of tourism as an in here or there. They don't see it as a $10 billion a year business here in the state of Connecticut. You need a governor and a lieutenant governor who understands the importance of tourism, the importance of the trade, the importance of marketing Connecticut, the importance of marketing this part of the state is part of our long-term future. Those are some of the building blocks that makes Mary and I, reminds us every day that we've had a tough patch for 20 years as a state. We've fallen behind a little bit. Too many of our young people are leaving the state. Too many jobs are leaving the state. But that our best days really are ahead of us. All it takes is a little bit of leadership, and that's what we mean to bring. Hey, with that, let's open it up. I love questions, and more provocative the better.
Folks, we have a question.